This is a public hearing for the combined annual budget and appropriation ordinance for fiscal year beginning July 1st, 2014, ending June 30th, 2015. This was public notice published in the Enterprise. The Plainfield Township Park District Board of Commissioners have scheduled a public hearing for the combined annual budget and appropriation ordinance for fiscal year beginning July 1st, 2014 and ending June 30th, 2015. The time and date for the public hearing is 6 p.m. Wednesday, August 13th at the Heritage Professional Center, lower level, 24023 West Lockport Street here. This was posted by Wendy Calabrese, Secretary of the Park District. So at this time, I would like to ask if there's any public comment on the budget.
Motion.
Oh, that's right. Motion to open the public hearing. Public hearing.
I'll make the motion to open the public hearing.
Second.
602. Furtado.
Yes.
Ludeman.
Yes.
Newton.
Yes.
Slosky. Yes. Motion carries.
All right. Any public comment on the budget? No. See one hand go up.
Okay, I'm gonna stand right here, if that's okay, because the baby's right here, and he's happy. This is Michelle Kelly, and I'm over 14 years out of South Bartlett. And first of all, I'd like to thank the board for working so hard to bring the Park District to a much better place than we were a year ago, when, I don't know, when we have 100 people at the meeting for the annual budget, and a lot of questions. So it's really exciting to see where we're at. I'd like the board to consider putting capital money towards our DuPage River Trail Plan. Consistently, that has been the #1 community voted element for trails and pedestrian and bicycle linkages, and it's really exciting to see pieces get done, but it's also disheartening to see so many spaces between those little pieces and the connectivity not quite there yet. So I ask the board to consider putting money towards that. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there any other public comment?
Pretty much ditto what Michelle just said. My name is Rob Ayers. I live at 14232 South Hanford Court in Plainfield. And really, she kind of stole all the thunder of what I wanted to say with respect to thanking the board for the new direction and, in my personal opinion, a much better direction than what was being done before. I spent some time on the phone with Mr. Grodsky today. He was nice enough to put some time aside for me and educate me on some of the questions that I had with respect to the budget. And it's very rewarding to see what good direction can bring to the Park District. So I'm very excited for what looks to be a great year, and I'm hopeful that the positive moves continue. So thank you.
Is there any other public comment? So, would you like to come up with
Yeah. My name is Emily Brooks, and I live at 13535 Jordan Lane. I'd like to talk about a project I have doing that I can have accomplished with the Plainfield Park District's help. My brother has been playing with the Plainfield Junior Cats football program since he was 6 years old. And a boy on his team last year whose dad was in a wheelchair could not access some of his football games.
Can you save that comment for the next public comment? Because this is just for budget.
Yes, sorry, I wasn't sure what section.
When we do that, can you come up to the microphone so everyone can hear?
Of course.
That'd be great. Thank you. Is there any other public comment on the budget? Hearing nothing, we will adjourn. We'll go for a motion.
Close the hearing.
Second. Second.
605. Furtado.
Yes.
Ludeman.
Yes.
Newton.
Yes.
Slosky.
Yes.
Styles. Carries.
All right. Now I'd like to call to order our regularly scheduled meeting.
Yeah, you need to, you need to close the hearing.
Motion to adjourn the meeting.
Special.
The special meeting.
Make the motion to adjourn the special.
Awesome.
Furtado. Newton.
Yes.
Ludeman.
Yes.
Slosky. Yes. Styles.
Now we will call to order our regular meeting. And Larry, would you give us a little question? Another roll call.
Furtado. Here. Rubin.
Yes.
Hickel.
Here.
Woski. Here. Snyder.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And this time is public comment, if you'd like to come out.
Hello, my name is Apple Brooks, and I was at 13535 Jordan Lane in Plainfield. I'd like to talk to you today about a project that I can accomplish with your help. My brother's been playing football through the PPD football program since he was 6 years old, and he's currently 11. Last year, he had 2 boys on his team whose families were in wheelchairs or motorized scooters, and they had to miss about a third of the games that they watched in the parking lot. So I really took that to heart, and my project that I'm trying to accomplish is with the Park District to help pave paths and make handicap accessible bathrooms at Four Seasons Park. With that, I've collected signatures on a petition and likes through a Facebook page, and I'm up to 200 right now. So what I would formally like to request is that the Park District help me to pave paths at Four Seasons Park and make handicap accessible bathrooms. I would love to hear your opinions on helping me make this work. Thank you for letting me speak.
Thank you. Is there any other public comment for tonight?
Yes. Jamie Alwood, 7700 Briarsmith Drive, Plainfield, Illinois. I'd like to start tonight because I think this will probably be his last meeting. Mr. Grodzki, thank you so much for your service to the Park District on behalf of the whole community. You came in when there was some rough waters, and this is one person in the public. I appreciate what you've done and all the hard work you've done on behalf of the citizens of Plainfield. My comments tonight basically are going to revolve around one thing that I read in the paper, and it concerns me. And as most of you know, I've been coming to these meetings for about a year. Sometimes I talk, sometimes I don't. I haven't for quite a while, which has been nice, I think, for most people. I just want to make sure that everybody on the board is aware of at least what I think I understand of what goes on in a closed session. A closed session is just that, a closed session. And I just wanted to make sure, President Ludeman, that everybody's on the same page here. Because the reason I bring this up is in an article, July 23rd in the Herald News, I read Worth Park District Director Carlo Capo, I'm going to butcher his name. How about I just call him Carlo? Has been selected as a new executive director. Commissioner Peter Hurtado, as Peter Stein said. Another quote from the same article, in regards to that matter, we had a blind vote, and one candidate received 3 votes, that would be Carlo, and that was not the candidate Steiny said. First of all, again, Mr. Steiny, you do realize that what occurs in that session is private? Yes or no? Or a blank stare? I'll take a blank stare.
Yeah, take it.
No, that's fine. I'm just fine. But by publicly disclosing the name of a potential new employee, has serious ramifications not only for the district, but for that employee. You've once again opened up the district to potential litigation. Let's say Carlo decides he doesn't want this job. You've now outed him to his current employer. When you go into a job interview at that level, you expect there's going to be some privacy involved. And that's just a fact. And that was violated. And then the other thing is now, if he is coming in, he realizes that 2 commissioners don't want him. It's not a good feeling. So I'm upset that you can run to the Herald when you don't get your way. Or maybe the Herald ran to you, I don't know. But no comment is a possibility. So again, to me, it looks like Keith and repeat here has once again decided that if they don't like it, take their ball and go away. And you keep smirking at me, Mr. Steiny. You know, last time you and I talked, you can hold up what you want. Mr. Steiny's, you know, you are a member voted in by the public, literally threatened to take me outside. I mean, that's not the role of a public servant. I'm disappointed in your lack of respect for the community. Okay, just one more final thing. I just wish that you guys, once and for all, would stand up, either resign or actually put your whole effort into this district. I don't know why you continue to want to serve a district and the people who you serve, who you have so much disdain for. It's just really disappointing. Thank you so much.
Is there anyone else that would like to make? All right. We will move on to the consent agenda. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll second it.
Any comments on the specific agendas?
Would you like to make the comment?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I'd like to know why meetings that we had, we were supposed to work, when it was sent out for review in regards to what occurred in the meetings, it was not stipulated what was the handouts. Why wasn't it? In regards to what went down, misinterpreting the vote in regards to what was sent out in regards to the matters, and let me know how that came about. And I think I'd like to know how the final vote came about. Because you sent out the bullets in the emails. So I'd like to know why the agenda was not in its fullest for transparency purposes.
You're referring to the closed session meeting minutes? Is that
That's
correct?
correct.
Okay. Did you want to discuss that in closed session?
I don't know, are you just asking a question about it, or did you
Well,
want to take it off
I'd
the
like to know.
consent agenda, or what did you want to do?
What are we agreeing upon on this, on the agenda and on the minutes?
From a clarification point, just from the administration, are you asking for a set of the minutes to be taken off the consent agenda, or do you want to discuss that particular set?
Well, I'd like to take that, like the minutes off the consent agenda.
Okay, which one?
Which ones? Is the question all of the closed session?
Because the information was not provided accurately in regards to what down in these meetings.
So I want to be clear, from an administrative perspective, you want them all, or just the closed and executive session minutes taken off, sir?
Let's see, wait a second. Let's go with it. Basically, it's for special park board commissioner meetings.
So the regular meeting minutes,
Any time on July 9th, 12th, 21st, and also 24th. That's kind of a lot.
so I just want to get these down. It's the 9th, the meetings of the 9th, the 12th, the 21st, and 24th.
Correct.
Okay.
Good.
But the 12th, or the 9th, sir, is a regular park board meeting, that is a
Okay,
public
sure.
meeting.
And let's compare it.
Okay?
D,
So you want D, E, F, G, H, and I. Okay? I just want to be clear
Right.
that you want to pull those. Now, the next question procedurally is, do you want those to be reviewed in closed session, which is what I would recommend, or what do you want to do?
Well, it doesn't matter. It could be open. I think it should be open. In regards to what that was kind of conversed, because there's really no secret. Everything's going to leak out from all sides.
Well, I guess, and I'll let the attorney answer the question, or
or at least provide guidance if I'm pulling it off, but because they are closed session, whether information has been released or not, it would be more appropriate that the next time you review closed session minutes, that you bring up those concerns at that particular meeting. When you actually are reviewing closed session minutes for.
Unfortunately, those things were typed out beforehand and submitted in time. I didn't do what I said. I just received a tally this last Friday.
Oh, he's referring to when we review the minutes in our closed session meetings where we go back and.
That's all I'm asking is, or suggesting, is that instead of discussing those this evening, the next time you all review your closed session minutes pursuant to state law, these would be held for that time.
What I'm saying is that what was provided in writing, it basically reviewed, was not in entirety.
I hear what you're saying. I understand what you're saying. The appropriate place to discuss that is, because they are closed session minutes that are confidential at this point. They've not been released by this board. Is to do that at the next time you review your closed session minutes.
That's why I said, reflecting these matters to be clear.
Okay. So your motion, what you're asking to do, if I'm getting this straight, is that you want to remove those minutes that you've identified as D, E, F, G, H, and I, hold those until you review closed session minutes as an agenda item the next time you do that, so that you can get your points across as to whether they were satisfactory. Okay, that's your motion.
I made that motion.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay. So, any other discussion?
Any other discussion?
Motion within a motion.
I know we do, we have two motions.
No,
right
no.
now.
No, there was no,
There's no need for a second. If you want to take it off the consent, it comes up.
if you just want to do that, do it.
And that's fine. But
So we'll take those off.
what Wendy was asking about was, do you mean the July 12th special park board commissioner meetings? Those were open. Do you want those off too?
Actually, if it's containing to the full report on that day, I want them all off.
Or just the executive session section?
What was presented was, like I said, just piece of paper with a few straight comments, but not detailing everything that was done.
So the way I would do that then is just remove anything that was, whether it was the special meeting or not, I would take off, if I'm hearing you correctly, D through I, period. And then you'll discuss those at a later date.
Absolutely.
Okay. You can just do that.
Okay, so we're keeping A, B, C,
Correct.
J, K, L.
That's correct.
We have a motion and a second. No further discussion. Roll call.
Furtado. Yes. Lumen.
Yes.
Newton.
Yes.
Solosky.
Yes.
Stein.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, action items, we're on to action item A, and pursuant to our board policy, Commissioner Steines and Furtado have requested this item be put on the agenda. So seeking a motion to have the law firm of Kavanaugh, Brumley, and Gorbel appoint a new general counsel to the Plainfield Township Park District.
I make that motion.
Okay, is there a second? Okay, is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll roll call.
Furtado.
Yes.
Lumen.
No.
Newton.
No.
Solosky.
No.
Stein.
Yeah.
Item B, seeking a motion to approve ordinance 2014-02, combined annual budget and appropriation ordinance for fiscal year beginning July 1st, 2014 and ending June 30th, 2015. I'll make that motion. Any second?
Second.
Any discussion on the budget?
Just a question, you had discussion about changing the budget year to the calendar year end, so would that change this language in item B here for action items? Because it goes through June 30th?
Well, your budget goes through June 30th anyway, so what you'll need to do if you approve this is that would take effect in January of 2016. So you put together an interim budget from from July 1 through the
Next year.
December of
So this will be
2015.
next year. Okay,
Yes.
I just understood this thing, this year, but that's fine.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I have a question on issue number 4, about the bonds. Are we trying to sell new bonds? If so, how much, what are we talking about?
As you might recall from our last board meeting, we had your bond counsel and from Chapman and Cutler, as well as your financial advisor from Ehlers and Associates, who's been doing your financial and bond work for over 20 years for the district. And what we did was we had I don't remember if you were here or not. So,
Okay.
So we had a presentation to show the board what is possible, what's legal, is there wiggle room, if the board wanted to go out and sell some new bonds. And as part of the presentation, it was part of the capital improvement budget presentation. The issue that was discussed was how do you do this with the lowest impact as it relates to the tax profile for residents. It's very clear based on the budgeting that we presented this evening, which will hopefully approve, that the district has well within its power to be able to leverage dollars that are currently in the budget, not tax dollars, or new tax dollars, to sell a bond, a larger bond, if you will, to pick up some capital projects that would be bigger in nature. So, for example, you probably have enough money to do between $3 and $4 million bond sale.
So we incur additional debt for the
You would, in fact, have additional debt. You can structure that, as you're probably aware, in many different ways. But in terms of the obligation of the taxpayer, it would not impact their tax rates.
I understand they want to impact because those bonds are supposed to be retired at a certain point in the near future. But when we got to do the refinance and go out, reissue those new bonds, we are supposed to acquire initial debt for the partners.
Right.
And
And you have the ability to issue some more debt if this board chooses to do so beyond what is already out in the bond market that you have already.
And I think the question should be go to the taxpayer whether they will actually want to incur additional debt.
Well, you certainly have that authority as a board to do that through referendum. However, you do have the authority within the current structure that you have to just sell bonds without getting that in there.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah.
But-
It's just like the toll system, you know, it's supposed to pay after X number of years, and they continue to reissue those bonds, and it keeps going forever and ever and ever.
Commissioner, you have every opportunity as a board to decide whether you want to do it by referendum or not.
I understand those questions, and my final question is, you said we have the ability to issue somewhere between $3 or $4 million. Is it $3 million, $4 million, or?
Well, it really kind of depends on what the rates are at the time that you sell the bonds, quite frankly. So the rate, right now, the rates are very, very low. And you are probably looking at, to pay back $1 million on an annual basis, between $80,000 and $85,000 a year. You've probably got, conservatively, $200,000 that you could allocate in your current budget, not in this budget, but in future budgets to do that, if you wanted to do so.
Any other discussion?
Back to the bonds, so who's going to be arbitrator in regards to overseeing? Is there going to be a committee in regards to decision-making in regards to what's selected bonds, the amounts?
Well, the way it generally works is your executive director would put together with your financial advisor and your your bond counsel a program that the board would review and ultimately have the decision as to whether they want to sell them publicly or go to referendum.
Yeah, they come across to
The staff cannot make that decision. First of all, it's over the state limit of $20,000 in purchasing power available. But the only authority that can actually not put together the bond sale, but to sell the sale is the Board of Park Commissioners by state statute. So ultimately, you have the final say.
Any other discussion? Okay, if not, we'll do a roll call.
Furtado.
No.
Ludeman.
Yes.
Newton.
Yes.
Solowski. Yes. Styles. Motion carries.
Okay, item C, seeking a motion to authorize the interim executive director to sign an engagement letter for auditing services with Lauterbach and Inc.
You have in front of you item 6C. We've given you an analysis of, not an analysis necessarily, but we've given you their letter of engagement. After we opened up the bids, after you agreed that we should negotiate a contract, as you will note, we were able to get them down in price to the new figure, which is $14,000 for fiscal years 2014 and 15, and then it begins to go up from that point on. We recommend your acceptance of Lauterbach and Inc. They're one of the finest auditing firms, public auditing firms in the northeastern section of Illinois, used by many different park systems as well as villages and cities.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
Yeah, I have a question. This is going to be a 5-year contract?
You can only do a 3-year contract, but you can tag on additional years if you'd like to, that they roll over.
Well, I was reading this, it looks like it's a 5-year contract, so it's basically a 3-year contract.
It's a 3-year,
Two-year
plus,
option.
that's right.
Any other discussion?
Yes.
Goodman?
Yes.
Wooten?
Yes.
Salosky? Yes. Styles?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay. Item D, seeking a motion for the Park Board of Commissioners to approve an investment policy. Is there a motion for that?
I move that the Park Board of Commissioners approve the investment policy effective immediately.
Second was seconded. Any discussion?
Yeah, no discussion. Looking at this new policy, it kind of precludes the oversight of who decides who's going to sign for the wire transfer and come to the money by purchase of it. I think the previous policy that we have at least 2 signatures required to do some of the financial transactions. And by just giving so much powers for the sake of the board, to choose that as person, I think is wrong. I think we need to review this, perhaps table this, and give a discussion. And I think we should have a finance committee with at least a couple of members of the board to present it out so we can evaluate all the financial situation and the investment that we're trying to do.
Any other discussion? Because this is pursuant to state law, this policy.
Yeah, I understand that. The only thing that I have a problem with this policy is we just give one person, authorize one person only to do all the financial transactions. The way we had it in the past, it required 2 signatures to do the financial transactions. In this particular case, the way I read it is only the executive director, and I think in the past we had the executive director, the business manager, and the treasurer. One of those, 2 of those people have to sign on. And my ground is so much, all this money and all the responsibility just to have one person make a decision is wrong. I think we should have more than that. That's what I'm suggesting we should have the finance committee of course with at least 2 board members so they can review all the investment that we can.
I would not necessarily disagree with you as it relates to signatories, as it relates to a check and a balance, if you will. The issue becomes one of when the investments need to be made or rendered for cash for payrolls and things along that line, because we're doing long-term, short-term investments. So having a board member may be a little bit of an issue, just in terms of timing of those things. Best practices in most park systems are that the executive director and the finance director are the 2 that would authorize or be designated as the signatories for those dollars to move them back and forth and wherever they need to move. So I'm not necessarily arguing the point that 2 people shouldn't be involved in that signatory. It's an issue of if you put a board member on that and we can't get a hold of one of you at 9 o'clock in the morning to make that to make that decision or to make that signature, that becomes a problem, especially if we're off chasing interest, which, as you know, as a board, is pretty hard to chase right now. So if you wanted the authority to be